Well, folks, here we again for the weekly forecast. The big weather story, of course, during this last 7-day period was the storm system that moved in late last weekend and then carried through Monday and Tuesday as it departed toward the Great Lakes. We've seen some pretty significant snowfall accumulations across the eastern Dakotas, western Minnesota, where we had full-range blizzard conditions, and some of that did extend down into extreme northeastern Nebraska. For the most part, though, once you get south of northeast Nebraska, much in the way of precipitation just wasn't there. We had a few trace amounts of snowfall. And then, of course, as we got into Tuesday morning, a little bit of snowfall moved down eastern Nebraska on the backside of that upper air low to give us another half an inch to an inch accumulation caused from very slick conditions. But overall, that system is out of the way. We've seen a warming trend. And before we get to the main forecast, though, because of the lack of snowfall in the southern Rockies, I want to bring you up to date on how the snowfall estimates are and where we are in terms of the latest drought monitor. So if we go to the latest snow depth information for the Rocky Mountains, one thing I'll draw your attention to is you get into southern Colorado and points to the south, we're running anywhere from 20 to 60% of normal snowpack depending on location. And we are also seeing that all the way up through the Sierra Nevada region, and it takes you all the way up into the southern Cascade region where we've seen significant below normal snowpack. And when you think about the storm that come in last weekend, dropping 7+ foot of snow in parts of the northern Sierras, that basically doubled the water equivalency of their snow. So they're running on the statewide basis 5 inches of water equivalency. The storm comes in, we jump up to 10 inches of water equivalency. Unfortunately, for this time of the year, we should be up to 25 inches of water equivalency. So one big storm doubled their snow water equivalency, but yet we're still well below normal. And unfortunately, we're going to have to see several strings of these storms coming through for us to improve the conditions in the southern plains, because we have a widespread drought signature over the western Oklahoma, Texas, and into the southwestern United States. So there is evidence some more systems will be coming through, may start to improve the situation slightly, but I think that we're going to be dealing with this issue in the southern plains through the entire growing season. So as we look at today, the remnants of that big upper air storm has now moved off to the eastern seaboard. We do have a weak troughing pattern moving through. This is going to bring in and usher a little bit of cool air, particularly as we go through the overnight hours and into tomorrow. High pressure is trying to push into the region. The cold front should enter our region as we go into tomorrow, but ahead of this we do see a little bit of a light snowfall activity and some heavier precipitation down to our south. We see that system really energize and strengthen as we go into Sunday. High pressure builds into the region. This low pressure system will be riding up the eastern seaboard, causing once again another significant weather maker. Heavy precipitation down the southeast, snow to the north, and it looks like eastern Nebraska might just be brushed by some light accumulations less than an inch. As we go on the day on Monday, that trough moves out, low pressure starts to move in, but there is nothing in the way of any significant moisture or support in the upper atmosphere to get precipitation going. As that main system moves up the eastern seaboard, we should start to see a warming trend, and that will only intensify as we get into Tuesday with very warm conditions in western Nebraska, close to normal in eastern Nebraska. Once again, under the influence of high pressure aloft with the main low pressure systems to our southwest. As we go on the day on Wednesday, we see that activity starting to enter the western United States. The eastern storm is starting to spin off toward the open Atlantic, and high pressure firmly in control. We might even see some 70s as we get into the day on Wednesday, particularly over southern and western Nebraska. We see a series of low pressure systems, but these are very diffuse. The main upper air low and surface low will be entering California on Wednesday with that precipitation, and this system really digs deep. And this may be very good news for the southwestern United States and southern Rockies, as the moisture is going to be much farther south than it has been, with surface lows over the entire Great Basin region, and precipitation starting to make its way into Arizona and New Mexico on Thursday. Now, as we get into the day Friday, that low pivots to western Texas. We're going to have some very high winds to deal with, and moisture will start to feed toward the north. It looks like low pressure will form in eastern Colorado, and another secondary low pressure system in southern Nevada will keep the precipitation going, heavy at times in the southwestern United States, and this system will eventually start to make its way out of the plains regions as we go late into next weekend. The models are all over the place on how this is going to be treated, but it does look like there will be some impactful weather someplace in the central plains. 8 to 14-day forecast shows below normal temperatures from next Thursday to the following Tuesday with that upper air low, and in terms of precipitation, broad area of above normal precipitation.